Warzone Mobile is globally launching in less than a week is what I wish I could say, but unfortunately that's just not the case at all. A lot of people seem to be pretty confused about when Warzone Mobile is actually releasing, and I can't blame you at all. It is very confusing. Warzone Mobile themselves have been sending out mixed signals or just no communication or signals at all as to when the game is going to be globally launching. Right now, the game is available in 4 different countries. I believe it is Chile, Norway, Sweden, and Australia. If you live in one of those countries, you can play the game right now. Even if you don't live in one of the countries, there are countless tutorials and different ways out there in which you can VPN down the game and play Warzone Mobile if you really want to, but you guys probably already knew that. Now, the reason a lot of people are waiting for the global launch of the game is because there are just some key aspects and features of the game missing. Most notably, the graphics tab of the game doesn't exist. Ever since the game went in soft launch, or I guess closed beta back in Australia at least 6 months ago, there was no graphics tab. 6 months later, we still don't have a way to change the graphics of the game on anyone's mobile devices, iOS or Android. So a lot of people are equating the global launch of the game to a ton of features getting released and tested, but that might actually not be the case. And on top of that, it looks like we won't be getting Warzone Mobile in about a week's time. And if you're wondering, where am I getting this date of Warzone Mobile is releasing in a week from? And that is the official iOS App Store. For the last 6 months, if you have gone to the iOS App Store and looked up Warzone Mobile outside one of these countries, you would have been met with the pre-registration page. Now, this page is where you can sign up for the game so that whenever Warzone Mobile does officially release worldwide, the App Store will actually automatically download and install the game on your phone without you having to do anything. So it's really cool. And also, Warzone Mobile has announced some gifts and goodies and different rewards for the communities for different pre-registration milestones. I believe the last one was we got Shoot House unlocked as a multiplayer map for reaching, I think, around 35 million pre-registrations. So tens of millions of people have presumably seen this date of May 15th, because when you click on it, when you click to go pre-register, it just says expected May 15th, 2023. And it said that specific date for the last 6 months. So 6 months ago, a lot of people were thinking, oh boys, we're getting Warzone Mobile come May 15th. We're going to be gaming, we're going to be grinding. But in some recent tweets from Warzone Mobile themselves, they basically confirmed that is not going to happen. And also just the way that games release and the way that global launches are announced, there is no way that in 1 week, Warzone Mobile would just casually globally launch. If you guys have been following the game over the last few months, you know Warzone Mobile has been incredibly proactive in terms of working with creators on publicizing the game. They recently just went to the NFL draft and they had some NFL draft players play the game. They have been going crazy with promotion the entirety of the game so far, and it would make zero sense as to why just a week out they would happen to casually announce the global launch of the game. But like I said, they tweeted some things that'll give us some much needed information as to what's going on with this global launch and why it's delayed. Now, the only reason I know NFL players or NFL draft players actually played Warzone Mobile is because they tweeted about it. If you go to the Twitter, you could see they had like a little Warzone Mobile booth or a Call of Duty booth where some players, I don't know who they are, were gaming, playing Warzone Mobile. Look at those hats. I'm pretty sure I even have one of those hats right there. But in the replies to the tweets, because people are rightfully so getting pretty curious as to where the game is or as to where any official communication is regarding the release date, Killshot replied to the tweet saying, next major update when? And Warzone Mobile said, the next one is coming in May. At the moment, we essentially have one large update every month. So you're thinking, hey, there's a big update coming in May. That's the global launch. Well, don't get ahead of yourselves, unfortunately, gamers. If we go to the next reply, under their tweets, Mr. Stark Gaming said, where is the graphics settings? Because that's obviously a big setting missing from the game. Warzone Mobile said, coming. We're working on a variety of device improvements and optimizations before we unlock those settings. So if that doesn't draw some suspicion as like, well, the game would be globally launching in a week and we would just begin the graphics setting, that doesn't really add up. And it all comes full circle when they reply to their last tweet under this NFL draft post where Summers says, when can we play it here in the States? Obviously meaning the United States. Tired of seeing everyone else play it. Warzone Mobile said, no news on any regions at the moment, but we also can't wait to share access with more players. Just keep an eye out on these channels as we get closer to our worldwide release. Now, that tweet wouldn't be so bad, other than the fact that we have no information on a release date. The May 15th date obviously isn't going to be respected because one of the biggest issues Warzone Mobile has faced thus far in the development of the game is optimization. And I can already guarantee you, whenever they do release that graphics tab and people start messing around with settings and graphics and frame rates and resolutions, there are going to be a lot of issues. There is no way Warzone Mobile is going to add this setting on the global launch of the game. Like Warzone said, they've been doing big monthly updates, and so there's a good chance that we could get the graphic setting in this next May update, but I highly doubt that in the same update that they add this long-awaited graphic setting is the update in which they also make the game go global. Now, it's really hard to sit here and say that Warzone Mobile is not at fault. Now, this is a really tricky situation because on paper, you guys watching the video can go to the App Store and still see the same date, May 15th, and say, hey, Ducky, you're wrong. I'm gonna go download the game in a week and I'll see you on Warzone. But listen, I've been around the mobile gaming community for around 5 years now. I've seen countless games beta tested, marketed, announced, released, you name it. I've been through so many launches of mobile games, and this is just not how a game gets globally launched. Leading up to the global launch of the game, Warzone Mobile, you can expect them to be tweeting out the wazoo. You can expect them to be working with creators, them working with Call of Duty most likely. You will know when this game goes global. Typically, Call of Duty, from my experience on console and PC games, usually a month out from the launch of the new Call of Duty, they give like a global release date. Usually they'll say like coming May, 2024, whatever, give some vague date. But around a month out, they usually narrow it in on a very specific date for which that game will launch. And I'm thinking Warzone Mobile would do the same. At the very latest, we should probably expect to hear a release date around 2 weeks out from the update. And like they said, they're doing around one big update per month. And at the moment, that looks like the updates are coming around the middle of the month. So if we're going to get the game globally launched within the next few months, it'll be either like June 15th, July 15th, August 15th. One of those big updates in the middle of the month will be the global launch of the game. But the easiest way to tell when the game is going to be coming out is when they start ramping up their social medias. Right now, they've been pretty inactive with a tweet like once every 2 weeks or so. Yeah, I think in the last almost 2 months, they've had a total of like 4 tweets. So a game that's globally launching, a game with 35 million pre-registers, wouldn't be tweeting once every 2 weeks if they're about to globally launch. And so all the signs are pointing towards this is getting delayed. And I know a lot of you are also thinking, well, hey, we knew this was going to happen. This was just a placeholder date. We knew we weren't going to be playing Warzone Mobile come May 15th. And for a lot of you who've also been in the mobile gaming community, yeah, you probably knew that the May 15th, there was a good chance it wasn't going to be respected and the game was going to be delayed. But for a lot of new people, I have to imagine this might be one of their first mobile games they are going to be playing, especially a shooter game. And with Warzone Mobile bringing in a lot of outside gamers like console and PC gamers to the scene, I don't think we're starting off on the right foot. Having a release date for 6 months in the App Store and then that release date just not being honored, and especially Warzone Mobile haven't said anything about this. For the last few weeks, I've been kind of expecting them to make an official tweet saying, hey, the release date in the iOS App Store, that was a placeholder date. We're going to take it down and add up the real release date whenever we expect the game to come out. So it's kind of disappointing to see Warzone Mobile. There's literally millions of people expecting this game to come out in a week, and they haven't really said anything. So I really just made this video to keep your expectations in check, and also when you can expect these big updates from Warzone around the middle of the month. If you are playing the game, you can expect some really big honking updates, and I will be making a video on this update when it does drop in about a week or so. And as always, gamers, if you want to go and drop a sub on the channel, I'd greatly appreciate it because I'm going to be grinding Warzone Mobile super hard whenever it does end up dropping, and who knows. Right now, I'm kind of thinking like a July release because once again, whenever they release the graphics setting, they're going to have lots of tests and feedback and bug fixes and more optimizations, and I don't think all that's going to be done within a month because so far the development of Warzone Mobile has seemed to be going a little bit slower than anticipated, but still the game is making progress, which is the biggest thing, and all we could do is sit around and wait at this point. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry if I ruined your expectations, your hopes and dreams to play Warzone Mobile in a week, but I just wanted to keep everyone on the same page. But yeah, it's been DuckyTheGamer. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.